Dean, I'll ask you the same question I asked John. How do you begin to process a game like that?
How do you process it?
Yeah.
The first one is that's just an elite game of basketball, firstly. To say the shots were fired at both ends, playing at a super high level. I'm not sure when we've made 23s, in a bit of a hole to start with, and then IC just kept us hanging around. The thing felt like it could have been 20. The early pace, the way that they were playing, Pinder, everyone making shots and stuff like that. So, yeah, held us around, and then both of them, CG and IC were amazing. The whole night. I thought there was. We talked about moments, and we didn't win the moments over in Perth, and CG's block at the rim with Henny, and obviously last play, Delhi's been so elite, just making the right decision. So we'll look back at that and when we get a chance as a team and just look at the moments that we actually won. But fun game.
Yeah. What did you talk about at quarter time when you'd given up 37 in the first quarter? Your offense was a bit sputtery at times.
Yeah.
But obviously needed to reset, and especially on the defensive end.
Yeah, we didn't get our coverage right. There was some stuff that we were trying to drive downhill, but the decisions they made in the paint, it wasn't the contested floater that we were looking for. It was drop off to Pinder, and guys that just were scoring layups on us. So we had to be a whole lot better. And I thought, middle of that. Second quarter, we really found a bit of a rhythm, got it out of Bryce's hands earlier, scrambled well, really supported each other, and then, protected the rim. So I saw, a positive in that second quarter. If we could keep doing some of those things, we could put them into the shot profile that we were happy with.
The last play to get CG to the line, is that a play that, you have up your back pocket? Who drew that up, and was there any doubt as to where that ball was going to go?
Yeah, it was just a wrinkle on a play that we've used before, and obviously that was a factor of the time on the clock to be able to do it. But boys executed perfectly. The foul probably took a little bit more time off the clock, which was nice. So we had to just laid it in. They might have had the opportunity to time out and go the other way. So to go miss a free throw and have that opportunity to win the game like that was pretty special.
I see you came in tonight and looked pretty early from the get-go that you kind of had it going. At what point did you know that you were flowing well and you just wanted to kind of hunt shots for yourself?
Just wanted to be aggressive and try to win the game. There's really nothing more to it other than that. I know throughout the year, my coaches and teammates been just telling me to stay aggressive and keep going. And tonight, more than anybody, it was Chris just in my ear, just telling me to keep going. And that's what I just wanted to do. I just wanted to try to make plays, whether it's for myself or my teammates. Tonight, it felt good. I just wanted to make sure that I was hunting good ones and making sure I was getting quality shots up, and guys looked for me and got me open, and shots were falling tonight.
What is it about big games with you, big playoff moments? I mean, we know you've won championships, obviously overseas. You won one with Sydney at that massive second half with Sydney on that night as well. Like, do you lock in any extra in a big, tight game, must-win game like this?
I think, you ask anybody, they want to lock in for the playoff games, especially, win or go home. We talked about moments, and, whatever that is, offensively or defensively, you want to have an impact on the game. And so that's what I try to do. As much as possible, especially, you don't get these opportunities all the time. A lot of teams don't make the playoffs. You don't have an opportunity always to play for a championship. So when you're in those moments, you want to seize them.
30 minutes for IC tonight is obviously on the higher side of what he would normally play, and obviously he was rolling. How much of a luxury is it for you to know that you've got another option along with CG as well as Delhi controlling the game so well that you just have complete confidence that you guys are going to get good shots every time?
Yeah, and as much as he's scored 40 tonight or 38, he's been our next guy to go guard Bryce, and so for him to log 30 minutes, put 40 up at that end and then go guard Bryce at the other end. You know, that's just the all-round game that he gave us tonight. And so, you know, Shilly needs that relief, and you know, he was great at it tonight, and he has been the whole series. So, you know, Bryce had a good night. He was tough, and yeah, we can talk about moments like Wagstaff. Like it was like he hadn't missed a three the whole series, and then I was like, he's got to miss one somewhere, and then he goes bangs that one in, and so that was one of the moments that I'm sure we'll look back at and could we have got that rebound? You know, do we foul? There were some things in that moment that, you know, maybe we could have done better, but yeah, we got a chance to go the other way.
And just lastly, I see from me, I mean, you talk about moments. I mean, one of the moments of the game for me was CG diving into the stands to save the ball and coming down and knocking down a three. I mean, how inspirational is it for your captain at 35, 36 years of age to be making plays like that, you know, in these must-win situations?
I mean, he's a competitor and he's a winner. And when you see our captain doing that, you want to follow suit. So everybody down the line should be able to give that same kind of effort on the defensive end. And, you know, we talked about, I think he was one of our better guys of boxing out tonight, because we had a little lull of you know, securing the ball when they getting second chance points, and so he did an elite job of making sure his man wasn't going to get it, but also going after loose balls like that and then coming down and knocking down a big shot.
Dean, the impact of Jack White when he's on and he performs in big moments, but there's been a lot of times in this series that he's fallen flat and it looks like it's been in his head. Are you just stoked for him to be able to carry that momentum from the second half into a championship series?
Yeah, you know, we kind of ran the first play for him tonight, and we wanted to just like, we got you, and you know, and then he comes up, what did he make? Four threes, and you know, shot the ball really well in that second half. You know, stepped to that foul line, and nice to see that one bounce up and bounce straight in for him, and the stuff, a good little moment. But yeah, you know, we closed the game a little different tonight. We closed with, you know, four guards and Marcus Lee, and so, you know, he'll want those moments. He'll in these next final series, he'll want to be out there in that last part, and you know, it's going to be a good challenge for me about, you know, who we close in different situations. But you know, he was happy for those guys out there. So, but yeah, whatever happened, good response from him tonight, and he moves forward.
I said to you, as being on the court when Jack, you know, stands up and hits that first three and kind of gets going, the fans were kind of rooting for him as well, just like wanting him to hit the shot. Well, you guys all got around him and just...
I mean, we have the ultimate confidence in Jack. Me personally, I'm not worried about it. All the stuff that was going on last game, he's a competitor as well, and he's a guy that always comes in with the energy, whether in practice, in games. You always hear him talking. He's loud, and so, you know, for us to, when he has a little lull, for us to be his teammates, we have to help pick him up. But I thought tonight he played great. He knocked down shots. He stepped up with confidence and made them, and we needed all of them.
Dean, obviously, the other semi-finals is still to be decided, but can you give some thoughts on those teams, like who, if you may face one or the other in the final?
No, I'm just going to enjoy this one tonight, and we'll worry about, you know, who we're playing tomorrow, and we'll sit down and watch the game. But yeah, I'm not going to get ahead of myself and think about either one of them. Yeah, just, you know, want to shout out Perth. You know, JR done a hell of a job with that team this year, and you know, Doolittle was such a problem, you know, in this series. And, you know, I don't think he's got the credit this year about how good a player he is, and yeah, some guys stepping up there in that roster. So yeah, it'll go down as one of the series for me. Just a, you know, crazy wild series, and the ebbs and flows of it, and then the shot making, and so yeah, big credit to Perth.
Dean, how happy were you with your defending of you know, Bryce Cotton over the course of the 3 games?
Yeah, yeah, just such a elite player. You know, we tried to make it our bigs at a high level, you know, try and get it out of his hands, not let him walk into any threes, which he did a little bit tonight. We got some of our levels wrong and different things and stuff. So, you know, he just takes what the game's given him. If there's people in front of him at a high level, he's going to make the pass. And we saw, you know, Doolittle and Windler be the beneficiaries of that at different times tonight. You know, it's a closeout game. He's going to work even harder, you know, to get his shots and really challenge Chile getting in the lane and trying to shoot his floater a little bit more tonight. So, yeah, we did as best we could, you know, with the talent level we're going up against.
Very patient performance from Chris tonight. He just took what the defence gave him. He didn't rush anything.
Yeah, you know, we just want to limit his minutes a little bit the first half and make sure you know. The other night, he just looked a little bit tighter down the stretch. So, you know, big credit to Tanner Krebs in the relief minutes that he gave him in that first half, and we saw, you know, how that was for Chris, you know, down the stretch where, you know, he looked pretty fresh and you know, just making massive plays at both ends.
Is that around the minutes mark then, maybe around that 30 minutes going forward, even in a long grand final series? Do you utilise him that way, or is it just on a game-by-game basis?
No, he's always around that mark. It's not like a set thing that we're going to say he's going to, he can play a little bit more, he can play a little bit less, but yeah, it'll be around that mark, and it'll depend on how other people are going, and if we can rest him a little bit more because other people are doing really well, it's good for us.
And, sorry, just Ian, you shook your head a bit before when we spoke about, you know, Bryce Cotton. What's it like, you know, playing against a superstar like him?
It's always good to compete against Bryce. I shook my head because I let him get going on that first walk-up three, and I know better. But he's like Coach said it. He's a hell of a player. Takes what the defense gives him, doesn't force a lot of things, and we know if he gets good looks and he gets hot, he can be a changer, you know, for a game changer for sure. So, like, credit to Perth. You know, they played hard, especially in game 2. Made it a series, but I'm glad we came back home and took care of business.
Dean, the commentators were sort of raving about the final and, you know, saying it was one of the greatest finals, and I guess like the last few seconds probably, you know, obviously added to that. But I mean, you've been involved in so many finals games. Where does that sort of sit for you? Like, offensively, obviously it was very impressive from both teams, but does it sit as one of the best?
Yeah, for sure. And I, you know, obviously lost a mate in Kevin Braswell recently, and I showed the boys, you know, that series where Kevin made massive plays to win a game 2, and Mika had pretty much a broken leg and played, and you know, that's the other one for me that I'll always remember. And obviously it was against Perth as well in that series, but yeah, to me this one. You know, CG going for 40. I see having 40. You know, Bryce doing what he did. You know, the comeback over there that they had. There's so many talking points about, you know, this series the finish of the game. You know, so yeah, certainly up there in the top 2 semi-final series I've been a part of.
Dean, how valuable will your experience in the grand final series from last year be, you know, in comparison to Illawarra and South East Melbourne and other venues?
Yeah, you know, it was all year we've talked about the things that we needed to do better, and one of those was, you know, execution down the stretch of games. And so, you know, you look back and Sydney game, New Zealand game, this game, we've executed plays to win in the last, you know, 30 seconds of game. So yes, there's a little tick right now to say we've improved in that area to get some other guys ready for playoff ready, and I think we've ticked that. We saw Tanner and Cole Bowen and Flynn have been able to. Flynn didn't play as much tonight because I see he was cooking. I mean, he played more minutes, but yeah, we got those guys ready, and then these winning moments. You know, can we come up with that defensive rebound in a key moment? Can we not give up a 3-ball in key moments? And so, you know, we'll keep working on those things.
I see. How locked in is this group, given the bitter taste of what happened last year, and it's obviously been the goal all year to get back and give yourself another chance. So how locked in are you guys right now?
I mean, we kind of harped on it at the beginning of the year, but it's a new year, different team, and a different team we'd probably be going against as well. So, I mean, you as a competitor, you want to make sure that you get back to this point, but at the same time, you don't want to think about last year too much. Just want to look forward. So,
first off, congrats, I see, on, I believe, career high across NBA and NBL. So unbelievable effort from you, Dino. You're probably 3 wins away from a bit of Mount Rushmore chat for you personally as a head coach across the NBL. And you're too humble to admit it, so I won't let you answer that one.
I don't want to talk about Mount Rushmore.
It's a Tuesday night. If you were to design an NBL game to get the least people to attend, this is probably how you do it. you had, in the history, this was actually a good turnout considering
Yep.
the history of semi-finals on a Tuesday. Towards the end of that game, at moments in that game, it felt like the arena was packed. It felt like RAC Arena in Perth. Do you have anything to say for the fans that trekked out on a Tuesday night tonight to come watch you guys?
Yeah, it was always a concern about what kind of crowd we were going to get tonight. And when I saw Nick in the building, I was like, "Oh, where are we, round 5 or 6 or what?" And so he's like, "It's going to be all right. It's going to be pretty good." And so yeah, now that performance, hopefully it's talked about, and now it's a grand final, and now we just absolutely pack this thing out, and we take that intensity of tonight from the crowd. I thought, Wayne, court announcer, he was getting them going. He was riding them pretty hard tonight, and they had to be into the game. But we just saw no one's won a game on the road so far in these final series, and home crowd's massive.
This last one from Kelsey on the Zoom.
Hi Dan, hi IC. I want to go back to Tanner Krebs. He is often the unsung hero for you guys. He comes on tonight and scores 5 points. It doesn't seem like much, but you don't win games without that. I feel like Tanner this year has come on, you'd be hard pressed to find a time where he hasn't scored and tipped in on the scoreboard. Dan, can you talk about how important the depth of that team is, Tanner in particular?
Yeah, it's one of the tougher jobs in the league, supporting, being the backup to CG, and when in the year that he's had, but we really needed Tanner tonight, and that's like any guy who's coming off the bench, it's being ready for more, and he was ready for those extra minutes tonight, and we've been working with him just on, his box outs, and I just thought, everything that we've worked on with him recently, he's just gone to another level, and showed it both in the Perth game over there. I thought I underplayed him over there, and then come out tonight and, just did the tough things that we're asking of him. So, he's going to be ready for whatever in the grand final series. I'm not sure what, over the last maybe 8-10 games, his shooting percentage would be something ridiculous. He just hardly missed a shot in this period as well. So he should be super confident.
Good.
Thank you.